The following podcast is a Dear Media production.
Hello, and welcome back to your favorite podcast,
De-influenced. It's packing day.
It's packing day.
And
I'm so
scared.
No, it's been fine. I started packing on Sunday, so
yeah, packing days are stressful days.
yeah. So we're going to Cabo tomorrow, and we're so excited. But we're going with two other families and all of
Their kids,
our kids, and our kids too. And packing for your kids to go to the beach, like a toddler, a kid, and then a newborn it should be an Olympic sport.
I know. I can see your brain just moving a mile a minute.
All the things that we might need, and we have to have, because we're also like in Cabo without a car.
Totally.
So like we don't have a pacifier. What are we gonna do? Do they have like, I don't know, can you like DoorDash over there?
Your pinky?
Yeah, we're just gonna take it back to like
the old days.
You know. I'm gonna have to start like nursing at the boob again.
Yeah. I, on the other hand, have packed nothing.
I know you pack,
and I've thought about nothing.
I will
pack probably at 8:30 tonight, and I go to bed at 9.
Don't you feel like I'm just so curious, like when this is such a good question. When I'm running around the house like a busy bumblebee and I'm packing like, the passies and extra bottles, and like I just packed soap and a new bottle brush to clean the bottles at night. Mm-hmm. Like you would have never thought of that. Never. You would have never thought to bring dish soap to wash the bottles.
I kind of think I would.
No, I don't think you would.
I think I would have. Like, I think if you just gave me a shot and put me in, coach, I honestly think I would bring everything our kids need.
But my question is, whoever took you out?
Your energy. Because I feel like if I interfere in the slightest, it's like, here's how I explain it, is I usually like to be out of the house on these days because I think you like your space and I think you like to run around. And it's like you have this like mental checklist of what you're going through. And my fear is like, you're like, hey, will you get the bottle brush? And in your mind, you've delegated that out to me. But in my mind, I'm like, does she really mean I should get the bottle brush? Because she's like kind of on a roll here.
No, I really mean it.
Right. And it's just so like, it's all in your brain. And so I like to stay out of your way because I'm like, if I forget something that she expects me to do, then our vacation's ruined.
What did I delegate over to you? Are you going to remember?
Downloading the shows onto the kids' iPads. That's like always my job.
Which shows does Stella want?
Oh, I usually just ask her.
Well, I'll tell you. She already told me like 5 times. Can you guess?
Moana 2.
Mm-hmm.
Brave, maybe?
No, babe. She's so over Brave. That's so old school. That's like when you try to play Reputation Taylor Swift this morning. It's like
Miss Rachel?
No. She wants Mulan.
Oh yeah, she's in Mulan.
Moana 2 and Little Mermaid.
I don't want to go down this path, but have you noticed that as we've reintroduced the princess shows again, her behavior has shifted?
Really?
Yes, 100%.
It's bad?
Yeah, it's like, it's directly correlated.
Oh, she's been amazing with me.
No, she's so dramatic with her body. It's like, I'm telling you,
No, I believe you. I believe you. Yeah, we did switch to Miss Rachel there for like 5 minutes, which was nice.
There's only 4 episodes on Netflix. I'm like,
I know.
Netflix.
We needed more. But did you
buy her out?
Did you realize like whenever, I wonder what her catalog is worth.
Oh my gosh. 100 million plus for sure.
Yeah, no, for sure. More.
For sure.
More.
Yeah. They paid her 100 million plus.
For sure, without a doubt.
Like, and do we know anything about the real Miss Rachel?
She's like pretty humble, like just doesn't really like want much. She's like says no to everything. She's just Miss Rachel.
I know, but like where does she live?
I forgot. Maybe we Google it. I did look it up one time because I was so curious. But
like can she go places?
Probably not.
That's so funny to think about. Like,
I know. She's like I can't leave my house. Like I get mauled by the babies.
That's so crazy.
Where? Portland? Nashville? Maine. Okay.
She's from Maine. She lives in Nashville now. That makes sense. She probably lives on a big farm.
Yeah, totally.
in her little overalls, and she's like, "What's bubble gum?"
Bubble gum, bubble gum.
But all things considered, I feel like you've been good today. The first question I really wanted to ask you on this podcast was like, what mood we're in.
Well, I started packing on Sunday. So I've been packing for 4 days. So that helps a little bit.
Is there a little stress in your body?
Yeah, but
I've been
it's
trying
like a
to read
healthy
you all
anxiety.
day. Okay,
It's like,
healthy anxiety.
I honestly was just really bummed because I wanted to go to the mall today.
I know. I thought that was so random.
Well, I just wanted to get like 2 or 3 cute outfits to wear around the house while you're there.
Okay. I thought, you know what I thought? I thought about this all day.
I was going to get lingerie.
I totally thought that.
I knew.
Because
that
you were like,
that.
it was so random. And I was like, because Danny,
I don't really shop. Like, I don't
really
go shopping.
You were like, I just want to go. You were very cryptic about why you were going. I was like, I wonder if she's shooting the reality TV pilot. That was my first thought.
What?
And then my second thought was, and you just like didn't want to tell me because you knew it would like trigger me or whatever. So that was number one.
I feel like that would be like a pretty bold lie.
Well,
like I don't think I would
a
lie
lie
to
by
you. Like
omission.
I don't think I would lie to you like that.
I know.
Just
So
that.
then I talked myself out of it,
Yeah.
and then I swung it into a positive, and I was like, you know what?
She's probably going to get.
She's probably like going to a store to get lingerie. I genuinely thought that. I was like, she's so sweet.
I'm dead.
So that wasn't it.
No, sorry, babe. I have lingerie. I've never worn it.
I know, but I thought, you know, like we've been kind of on a roll lately, and so I was like, oh, like that's probably why.
I mean, I'll look for it if that's what.
No.
Okay.
I don't want to ask, like, but
okay.
if you would like to surprise, I'm not going to stop it.
Honestly, I'm not really in that era of like, I want to put on lingerie and look sexy. Like I'm still just like, we're kind of in the postpartum era. Like, it's just like, I'm just trying to put on clothes that fit and I feel good in. So, and I know that probably every man like is like, I don't care what your body looks like. I want to see you in lingerie. That's just not how
you feel.
Woman, how my mind works.
Yeah,
like,
that's like totally how I feel.
Yeah, no. See, like, no. I'm like, I do not want to try on lingerie right now. Like, that would be probably one of the worst days of my life right now. No, but I really have this whole era of postpartum. You know, I have been trying to like just embrace it. I don't want to say embrace the curves because I don't think I'm a very curvy person. It's just like pockets of fat that just are kind of stubborn, but it's not. But I have been just trying to like embrace it, and
let me tell you, it shows.
Yeah,
like your hair is all curly. We love it. You're glowing. I've tried to explain this or put this into words, but it's like you're just like I don't know. You're just like a woman now. It's like, I don't know why, because you've had 2 kids, but it's like something about our 3rd kid. You're just like mom. Like,
yeah, it's like
I got to protect her.
Oh,
she's like my queen.
Oh,
you know,
I love that.
That's how I feel.
I want to be a queen. It's because you realize how needed I am.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
For sure.
Yeah.
For me, for the kids, for the family. Just across the board.
Across the board.
When you blew up your live, I was like, we
really
need
her.
mom. Let me tell you. They're like, Dad, I'm so tired of mac and cheese and PB&J. I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't help you. That's all I have.
Yeah, I was gonna go to the mall and I was walking by Lululemon. They had this like new colorway that came out, and I was like, maybe I'll get myself a pair of shorts. You know what I mean? And I like to share new things that I get with my audience because like a lot of the stuff that I've been sharing sells out, not because I link it. I mean, sometimes, but like sometimes it just sells out because it's just like out of stock now. And so then I like to get new things to share with my audience. And yeah, and so I saw a couple of cute things at Aloe and Lululemon. We were walking around yesterday shopping for our giveaway. And so that I was really excited about doing that today. Yeah. But it's okay.
The third analysis I had on why you wanted to go to the mall was I was like, it's like, you know what? She's like starting to get into like her place postpartum where she's like doing things for herself. And I was like, that's so,
Yeah.
I'm like so happy about that.
No, yeah. It definitely was like a good, like, it was going to be like a good hour and a half just to myself.
And then you worked. So
yeah. And then I just stayed home and worked.
So how about this funny story that last night on all of the neighbors and our doors, there was a filming notice. And I guess like Michael's is filming a commercial on our street.
Yes.
And I don't have a problem with it.
I didn't tell you the full story about that.
No, tell me.
Well, okay. So Summit has like not been sleeping through the night. So last week I hired like a sleep trainer to come in. I had heard about her. She was like famous in Dallas. And she was like, give me a week. I'll be there. I'll sleep train in a week and I'll get you guys on a good schedule and everything. So I was really excited about her start. She started on Sunday. And so this was like her third night coming. And she was the one that told me about the filming crew. She said that one of the neighbors came out and told her not to park there overnight because there was going to be like a commercial filming. But the way that she described this to me was like very sketchy. She was like, one of your neighbors, but I guess it was the casting director or something that came up to her. And like, I know how our neighbors aren't really like totally fond with us. Like they're not fond of the fact that we do what we do, you know? And I know it because that one time that we had the Target shoot, we hired that horse-drawn carriage.
To be fair, it was a little over the top. Yeah,
but we did get it approved by the city of Dallas, and we did have like the proper police officers and everything, like directing traffic. Like we did it all right.
But we learned our lesson. We were like, okay, let's not film here. Let's go film on the street next door where we don't have.
Where nobody knows us.
Where nobody knows us. But yeah, we heard about it.
So anyway, she came in and my stomach sank. And I go, oh my God, our neighbors are pulling a prank on us. I was like, there's no way that they're filming a commercial for Michael's. Like, is Michael's even still around? Like,
what's the one that just closed down? Joann's?
Yeah, Joann's Fabric. And I was like, there's no freaking way that Michael's is coming. I was like, this is a prank. And I was also like, April is coming up, April 1 soon. Not right now, but
two
but
weeks.
I was like, maybe this is a really extravagant prank. And I was like, because then I looked outside, it had all these cones of where you couldn't park, and it was just in front of our house, is what I thought.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, they're just trying to make us like feel how they feel.
Yeah. So no, I get where your brain went. My brain went a different path. I was like, I read the notice and I was like, oh no, people are going to think that this is us.
Yeah.
Like they're going to think we're shutting down the street again and like we're shooting this brand deal for Michael's. And I was like, dang, like I just felt so trapped. And I almost wanted to text like everyone on the street and be like, hey guys, this is not us. Like we've learned our lesson. We're respectful. Like, you know, and this one's actually more cumbersome than anything we've ever done. Like there's cones all up and down the street. You know, there's like a huge crew here. And
our air conditioning went out and like they're coming up and down our steps, like trying to fix our air conditioning, and they can't even park outside of our house. Like poor guys have to walk like 2 houses down.
But I don't mind. I mean, I don't mind. I was just worried that it was gonna, like people were gonna think it was us.
No, yeah, I don't mind either. I'm like, it's just a day.
It's just a day. I was like,
fine, but
you know, show us the commercial.
Yeah.
You know,
like can we be in it?
Yeah, can't wait to see it. Like, can I be an extra? But yeah, you know, people have different opinions about filming.
You want to tell people about our trip to Cabo? Who's coming with us?
Yeah, we could talk about that, or I thought we could talk about the late night conversation that we had. You know,
about doing it.
Yeah, I honestly like it's kind of an awkward place to go, but I feel like what people are appreciating about our current era in life is we're being very open and real about like very real topics. We didn't talk about it beforehand.
Yeah.
So we don't have to go there, but you had said that you had talked about it with some friends and it was very relatable.
Yeah.
And so it's really up to you. Pick your path.
You can talk about it. Why don't we talk about Cabo first and then we'll go into that?
Okay, so Cabo and then our sex life.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. It's just still like we're still kind of warming up. We just got on the podcast.
Yeah. Been a busy day.
Speaking of postpartum and getting my health back to normal after having Summit, I want to talk to you guys about one of my favorite women's health products, O Positive supplements. O Positive is on a mission to deliver innovative, clinically backed, fun-to-take products that support women throughout every stage of their life. Whether you've just had your first cycle or first baby, O Positive is here to help you keep your hormones balanced. O Positive's Uro Vaginal Probiotics is one of the top 5 supplements on Amazon, and they have multiple #1 products in Target for intimate care, PMS, menopause categories. The Uro Probiotic supplement has clinically studied probiotic strains and prebiotic fibers that target issues like off pH level and more. With so many factors in our everyday life, like tight clothing, sweat from working out, hormones, and more disrupting our vaginal health and causing imbalances and discomfort, O Positive makes taking care of your womanhood easier. It's truly become a staple in my routine, and I love that it's science-backed. It's so important for women to prioritize their health around every turn, and this is a great way to do it. Plus, O Positive has something for every woman, no matter what stage of life she's in. They are there to support you. Take proactive care of your health and head to opositive.com/Danny or enter Danny at checkout for 25% off your first purchase. That's opositiv.com/Danny for 25% off.
Support for De-Influence comes from LMNT. As you all know, LMNT is my favorite way to stay hydrated. Danny drank them all the time during her pregnancy with Summit. Plus, they've been so helpful to keep her hydrated on her pumping journey. LMNT is a zero-sugar electrolyte drink mix born from the growing body of research revealing that optimal health outcomes occur at sodium levels 2 to 3x government recommendations. Each stick pack delivers a meaningful dose of electrolytes free of sugar, artificial colors, or dodgy ingredients. LMNT is formulated for anyone on a mission to restore health through hydration and is perfectly suited for athletes, folks who are fasting, or those following keto, low carb, whole food, or paleo diets. Y'all know I'm not the best with my water intake, but LMNT has seriously helped me make sure that I'm staying hydrated. Plus, try LMNT totally risk-free. If you don't like it, they'll refund your order, no questions asked. Right now, LMNT is offering a free sample pack with any purchase. That's 8 single-serving packets free with any LMNT order. This is a great way to try all 8 flavors or share LMNT with a friend. Get your drinklmnt.com/Danny. This deal is only available through our link. You must go to drinklmnt.com/Danny. Y'all know how much Hazel and Lola, our 2 dogs, meant to us, which is why we made sure to give them the best lives possible. This is where a farmer's dog comes in. Traditional pet food is highly processed and difficult to portion correctly, but the farmer's dog has changed that with their freshly made food. They take the guesswork out of serving sizes by precisely portioning your dog's food based on their unique nutritional needs. The pre-portioned packs are simple to serve and ensure your dog is eating the right amount to keep them healthy and thriving. It made feeding our dogs so easy, and we felt reassured that we were giving them the best food possible. Plus, the farmer's dog delivers right to your door, automatically sending you new food as soon as you are running low. And they have 24/7 customer support with real people, which can come in handy during the various stages of your dog's life. Get 50% off your first box of fresh, healthy food at thefarmersdog.com/Danny. Plus, you get free shipping. Just go to thefarmersdog.com/Danny to get 50% off. That's thefarmersdog.com/Danny.
Yeah, so we're going to Cabo. We're going with 2 other couples. You know this is going to be like the healthiest trip we've ever been on.
Oh, for sure.
Like, okay, so we're going with Ellie, who is like one of my best friends and basically a functional medicine expert, like went to school for it. And Taylor Dukes from Taylor Dukes Wellness, who is also a functional medicine expert, like practiced for many years. I mean, these people, like, they've never given their kids an Advil. Like, that's the type of like health we're talking about. They don't go to doctors. They go to doctors like for like really if you really need a doctor.
Yeah.
We're talking like no process, nothing, like very, very, very healthy people, which is gonna be great. But like, I'm kind of scared. I'm like, and all of our kids are going. And I'm like, you guys better watch yourselves. I'm like, you better not be talking about Cheetos over there while we're in Cabo.
Did I read you the text?
Embarrass me in front of these other families.
This is the text. I planned this joke for so long.
Yeah.
I said, because like we're kind of the organizers and we invited them along. And I said, hey guys, I'm about to give the person stacking the fridge and the chef some direction for breakfast and lunch since we will be out for dinner. Let me know thoughts, Taylor and Ellie. And I said, breakfast, eggs, bacon, Pop-Tarts, any Kellogg brand cereal, 2% milk, Eggos, lunch, Lunchables, Crustables, Sunny D, dinner, Flora Farms. And they don't like, Taylor doesn't really like know us. And so she was like,
they all replied like, sounds great.
Yeah, like they were kind of like, and I had to be like, hey guys, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, joke.
But
She replied,
so
she
funny.
goes, oh my gosh, I think I had a heart attack. Like,
And then there was like this other, so her husband chimed in, and I don't think her husband follows the regiment that she does.
no, I think he does.
Oh, he does? The same one?
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure it always like trickles down the family line.
And he said, babe, don't forget the Hungry Man's chicken fried steak TV dinners. Those things are chef's kiss. And I said, I'm going to leak a photo to TMZ. And the headline's going to be Taylor Duke wellness husband eats Hungry Man. Rumors of divorce swirling.
That is funny. No, this is going to be a very healthy trip. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm excited. You know, Ellie's bringing the bands to do Pilates. So she's going to do like Pilates classes in the morning and yoga. And then Taylor's bringing all of her supplements, all of her electrolyte mix, her pancake mix, proteins. I mean, I'm telling you, we're going to come back like
Cleansed. Absolutely.
From the inside out. That's for sure.
Can she, what do you do? Can she do like a diagnosis or a, diagnostic check on Stratton's gut?
Yeah. Oh, she could.
Yeah, she should.
We should. I mean, not while we're there. She probably needs like her kit.
Her tools.
And her tools, like the blood work and stuff. But yeah, that's a good idea. Stratton just, poor thing. He's just always kind of had tummy issues. And I have so much like mom guilt because I'm always wondering if I like switched to formula too soon with with Stratton.
Yeah.
But then I hear about these breastfed kids that have the same issue. So you never know. But
I think similar vein, did you hear that RFK, your Maha leader, he's taking on baby formula.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, big deal. Let me read you the headline.
That's going to be crazy.
We were talking about in the group chat. Do you have a group chat that you're like, man, if this thing leaked, I'd be done.
Yeah.
I feel like I've got like
Totally.
6 of those going.
I do.
Like,
It's
and I'm just like, in group chats, like I'm fully me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is so funny because it is the most incriminating way to be fully me.
Yeah, it is. It's like,
and I just feel so free. I'm like,
that. Okay. That is how I feel about being on a reality TV show.
yeah. You're like, I can be fully me.
Yeah.
And then they're like going to destroy you.
On reality TV, that's how I feel. But like even one-on-one, like I wouldn't tell somebody one-on-one some of the things that I would tell people on a TV show.
Wait, say that again.
Okay. So if I had like a big secret or something, I would share it on reality TV when they were filming, but I wouldn't tell like a friend that I just met last Tuesday.
Okay. So you would tell the masses, but not.
Yes.
Okay.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah. Why?
I don't know. It just seems so much easier. Maybe because it's not so personal.
But, oh, like not as intimate.
Yeah, not as intimate.
Yeah. So you can perform for the masses, but you struggle in the intimate one-on-ones.
I don't think I struggle in them, but I'm just saying like it's easier for me, I think.
Yeah, this one says RFK Jr.'s next targets are companies making baby formula.
I can't wait.
He's gonna wreck shop.
I cannot wait. Also, like,
because don't they they create? It's like the baby formula companies like create the own. What's the Lana used to always tell us about that?
Oh, the growth charts.
The growth charts. Yes.
So like it'll be like, is your baby like this much weight at this week? And then at the bottom it'll be like, brought to you by Similac.
Yeah.
And then it's just basically trying to get you to buy Similac to get your baby.
I wonder
weight.
who funds the what's the pyramid, the nutritional pyramid that we used to follow.
Oh yeah. They don't do that anymore.
I know they got rid of it,
like
probably because it was
now.
it was funded probably by like a conglomerate,
like the dairy industry.
It's so interesting.
It was funded by Got Milk. Those campaigns.
It's crazy.
You remember those campaigns?
Yeah, those are great. I was drinking so much milk.
I know, same. I was like, I got that little mustache.
Are we off milk?
Mustache.
Is Maha? Are we off milk?
That's one thing I haven't really gone down is like the milk hatred.
Yeah.
People are like out on milk.
Really?
Yeah, I feel like that was like the one thing it's like you have to drink milk or your bones will break.
Yeah.
You know? It was like a big deal.
I was like, I'm not strong because I'm not drinking enough milk.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like that whole thing.
And then it was like in college, it was like, don't eat butter, like cook with olive oil.
Yeah, and then it was like coconut milk, almond milk,
Yes.
soy milk, and I'm like, guys,
Yes, there were so many types of milks. You know what's so funny about me? I've always been like a 1% milk girl.
really?
Yeah. I mean, I can try. I can do oat milk. Like I'll do it sometimes just for the flavor in my latte, but I'm just like a 1% gal. 2% so like heavy, and whole milk is like a lot.
Wait, no, I put creamer in your coffee every morning.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, okay. You're just saying in general, if you were going to like chug some milk, you drink.
When I
1%.
order at Merit, it's oat milk latte, babe.
Yeah.
You know.
That's right. That's right.
Um,
The other thing that happened is they released the JFK files.
I know.
Big deal. Or maybe is it? I don't know. I've heard. I was just scrolling Twitter at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
last night, and I saw two sides. One is like, this is everything. This is what we've been waiting for. And then the other side was like, this is the same files that Biden released, you know, back in 20. So does anyone know which one it is? I didn't have time or care to sift through the noise.
I saw some of like the key documents had already been released. That's all I know. I don't even know what they were about. But people are like, okay, we already saw this.
And there's 80,000 documents.
Yeah. So I think they're probably still sorting through them.
They're still sorting through them, but there was a lot of narrative I saw on Twitter that was like, oh, we've been waiting for these and turns out everything is right. Like Oswald did it. But I was like, you couldn't have sorted through those files yet.
Maybe they put it in like a file and like search keywords.
Or like
ChatGPT.
Yeah, maybe so. But that would take a lot of tokens. I don't think anyone can do that.
How do you get more tokens?
I do know there's this project I found. Let me see if I can find it. There's a project that probably is the best to do this.
I always thought Oswald did it. You know?
Really? What made you think that, Danny?
Well, I've watched a couple of documentaries. And I don't know, this inside job, I just feel like it would have come out by now.
Yeah.
That's just me.
Who knows? What else has been going on this week?
St. Patrick's Day was a total flop. I'm just kidding.
I didn't even know. Where were we on St. Patrick's Day?
I think it was on Monday. We were just living life.
Wait. It was on Monday. Why didn't no one talk about it?
I know.
Where were we? Were we even around people?
I didn't pinch you for not wearing green.
Huh. Did most people celebrate it last weekend?
Yep. Remember we went to the lake?
Yeah.
And like our realtor was going back to Lower Greenville to parade.
Oh man. Okay. Yeah.
To party.
Yeah. Yeah.
We've never really been like St. Patrick's Day people.
No, we really haven't.
We almost got married on St. Patrick's Day one time. Like, remember when we were one time. Sorry, guys. Honestly, I'm sitting here and I'm like, I really need to go back.
I know.
I'm like, what am I doing sitting here?
It's about to get silly in here. I can tell. Oh man. Has that episode released yet? With the blood moon and daylight saving? Oh my God.
We were dying laughing yesterday.
People are gonna be like, these people are idiots. They don't deserve my attention.
It's horrible.
Oh man.
Okay, why don't we talk about our sex life?
All right, let's talk about our sex life. Well, so okay, we've had 3 children. Okay, we've been married for 7 years. We've both blown up our lives in the past 4 months. And you know, after you have a baby, you can't really have sex for how long is it? An eternity? That's all I remember.
You're like 6 years.
It's like 6 years. It's like dog years. It's like every day is like 7 years.
For a guy, 6 weeks. But then you're also not counting like the end of pregnancy, which I mean, you can do it, but it's like
it's more of like
really.
It's more of a chore at that point. You're like, get in here and do it. I want to have this baby. And it's like
they tell you
not super. It's like so barbaric.
Jordan, oh my gosh, it is not that bad.
It's such a utility.
Oh my gosh.
I'm like, I just want you to like, you know, I want to feel like you love me. And you're like, can you just do it? Like, we need to get this baby out. I'm so sick of being pregnant.
Because they say at the end that helps soften your cervix so the baby comes faster.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's why a lot of people towards the end will do it every day just to get the baby out. But you're also so big that it's like hard to
It's
do
probably
it.
some like male OBGYN.
Yeah.
Who just created this giant conspiracy. for all men. And he's like, yeah, you got to be doing it like almost every day in the last 2 weeks.
Otherwise, baby won't come.
Oh man, that's a funny
That's
idea.
like when I found out that blue balls weren't a real thing.
Yeah, that's a funny conspiracy too.
Like
So do a lot of
remember
females think that that's a real thing?
I don't know, but I did. I was like, oh my gosh, like their balls turn blue. Like that's horrible. I felt so bad. And I was like, and then oh my God. It was like dress modestly because you don't want to give a guy blue balls. Like,
wait, really? Who told you that? Like the church?
No. Yeah, the church told me, oh my gosh, that's horrible. No,
all this propaganda flying.
No, I had a group of guy friends in high school. Like there were like 7 of them, and they would all like lie about this stuff. Like they told all of us, like we all just believed it.
You're like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Do you have to get surgery?
Yeah, like, and I was like, that's horrible. Like, and yeah, so
that's so funny. So having 3 children, being married for as long as we have, there was this like, and I don't know, I drank half a cup of Beam that night, my sleep aid.
Yes.
And I was kind of delirious, but then like I made a move and then I felt like you rejected me in the move.
I did.
You did for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the 3rd rejection of the day. So I was determined since probably noon.
Oh gosh.
And it was just like rejection. Usually they kind of just roll off, but
off the back.
The roll off the back, I'm like, try again tomorrow. And I think that's the gist for most married men. But I think that because our story was different because we have been working so much on ourselves, and we talked about on the podcast, like being out of sync. And then I finally felt like we got in sync again. And not physically, but like emotionally. Like we were like, okay, like we
were doing it still.
Yeah, but like our new healthier selves were like moving in the right direction emotionally.
Yes.
And so I think that in that moment, my expectation was that emotional connection would have trickled down to physical connection. Like I wasn't really pushing the physical connection when you were in your 6-week window because I'm not allowed to, and it scares me.
Yeah.
I didn't want anything to break. And then after that, we were still kind of working through things. And so I just had what did I tell you? I forgot. I rolled over.
You were like, it's really starting to get discouraging and hurts my feelings.
Did I say that?
No, you didn't say hurt my feelings. You said, I didn't say that. It's starting to get discouraging. How much like you're rejecting me, and it is important to a marriage.
I am so excited about this next ad. Y'all know I've been on a health kick since 2024, and part of this journey is upping my protein intake every day. As I'm sure you've heard Danny mention on the podcast, I constantly am packing protein into my diet every day. Listen, I'll be honest, it's a lot of protein, and with limited options for protein-packed meals, they can get rather redundant. This is where Premier Protein comes in. Their ready-to-grab drinks are high in protein, and with 1 gram of sugar, it makes it an easy and fun way to make your health journey happen. Plus, they have so many different flavors like cake batter, caramel, chocolate peanut butter, and so much more. I never get bored because I could have a different flavor every day if I wanted to. Staying healthy can be hard, but Premier Protein makes it fun and easy. Visit premierprotein.com and go to where to buy to find a retailer near you or to find where to buy online. Premier Protein, sweeten the journey. Between our health journeys, worship walks, and chasing our kids around, having a good deodorant has been imperative for us. This is why we love Lumi. Unlike other deodorants, Lumi is powered by mandelic acid to control odor in a new way. Lumi delivers outrageous 72-hour odor control. Lumi was created by an OBGYN who saw firsthand how normal BO was being misdiagnosed and mistreated, which is why they created the #1 whole body deodorant formula. This means you can use deodorant wherever you want to, like seriously, from head to toes. Even in your private parts, because it's all baking soda free, paraben free, and pH balanced for safe use below the waist. This whole body deodorant has now earned over 300,000 5-star reviews from people who love feeling confident from head to toe. Choose from a variety of fresh, bright scents like clean tangerine, lavender sage, or toasted coconut. Control body odor anywhere with Lumi deodorant and get 15% off with promo code DEINFLUENCE at lumideodorant.com. That's Lumi deodorant and get 15% off with promo code DEINFLUENCE at lumideodorant.com. So I had felt like there was like kind of an emotional barrier up. And I used to think, oh, that was your resentment towards me, right? So we talked about it on the podcast and I was like, okay, well, there's not going to be a whole lot of physical activity because she's got to like learn to forgive me for her resentments. But then we got past that and I still felt like there was this like wall up. Was there a wall up still when I had this conversation with you?
Yeah, I think that it's 50% I'm just not in the mood. And then 50% I was mad at you that day.
Right.
I wasn't mad at you. I'm sorry. That's
you were
extreme.
mad, but
I was going through something personally.
yes.
And I was having lots of feelings about something. And it was the timing. It was the timing that was off. So no, there wasn't anything deeper, but I do feel like in that moment, I was like, I don't really feel like that connected to him. And he has not taken me on a date in a long time. So I'm justified. That's how I felt. And I am not one of those girls that's like, he needs to wine and dine me and take me to dinner and I'll dress up. Like, in fact, that sounds horrible. But like, just like an hour of wanting to hang out with me by taking me to, Hop Toddy or La Madeleine or something. But, even that, to be honest, if you would have done that, I don't know if I would have been in the mood still.
See, and that's like my whole thing is like, I don't think so. And I want to talk about, I think that this is probably the most helpful is, okay, you're not going to remember this, but remember when we went to San Diego like 5 years ago?
With Southwest?
Yes.
So funny. Okay.
We rode in an Uber with a man from the airport, like out to like San Diego. And
I kind of remember this.
In the Uber, it was a married man. Okay. And we were recently married. Okay. So we were in our honeymoon phase.
Okay.
And I remember this man making a joke, and I don't remember the specifics of the joke. Okay. But he was like something along the lines of like, if you count the number of times you have sex with your partner in the first year of marriage, you're going to have like, if a penny's every time, you're going to have $200 or something. And he's like, but then if you track everything after 5 years of marriage, you'll only have like $1. And then he was like, after 10 years, you're going to be left with like 3 cents. So it was a joke. Like, it was kind of like we all laughed.
Yeah.
And I just, for some reason, remember that story. And at the time, we were in our honeymoon phase. So we were making bank. We were dropping pennies in that bucket a lot, like chipmunks. And I remember in my mind, I was like, man, again, codependent Jordan, controlling Jordan, was like, I never want to let my marriage get to a place where that is our sex life. Does that make sense? Like, I was like, in my mind, I was like, that will never happen to us.
Yeah, that's probably what every single man that gets married says to himself.
No, I know. That's why I'm talking about this, is because I think that like, that is truly what I believe. Like, I would have seen that as a failure on my part or our part or whatever. It would have told me that I didn't control life enough to create an environment where we could thrive physically in our marriage.
So I think where the conversations kind of started to go south and where I started to feel discouraged in it was I was hearing everything you were saying, but then I'm also thinking in my head, I'm like, okay, so yes, like I rejected him he usually try to do it on Sundays. It's kind of like your thing.
It's the Sabbath. What else are we going to do?
Okay. So if on Sundays,
that's one of the best jokes I've ever made on the podcast.
Okay. So if on Sundays we like, let's just say on Sunday, we don't get to it.
Yeah.
When are we going to do it? Okay. So then I'm thinking in my head, okay, Friday night, date night. That makes sense, because what stresses me out is the fact that like I am already struggling. Like, my sleep scores every night are like in the 60s, 70s. Like right now, I think that people are always like, why do you slur your words? And I'm like, because I'm so tired. Like, I'm so tired that like even opening my mouth to say a word is tiring, like exhausting.
Oh, so you're thinking about your sleep scores. See, last night we did it. I got a 45 sleep score, and I would trade that 45 sleep score any day.
Because here's the thing, I feel like I'm ruined for the entire day. Like, yeah, we did it last night. Like, I'm so tired today. And then I'm like, I'm not the mom I want to be. I'm not the wife I want to be. I feel so bad. And so a lot of times you try to do it when I'm like supposed to be sleeping. And I'm like, then you're going to be upset with me because I'm not showing up in the day, you know? And so then I'm like, the way that this could be fixed is, or, you know, not fixed, but to resolve our problem is to plan it out and put it on the calendar and be like, okay, date night. And then we do it. Because when you go to date night, you kind of just always assume that, you know, you can freshen up, you can get like all pretty, you can, you know, like not just get in bed and just put your pumps on and your mouth guard on and like, you know, just be in the mood. And I think for women, a lot of times it takes a while to get there. Like not just physically, because yes, it takes a while to get there too, but like mentally to get prepared. Because there's so much going through our heads. Like, oh, I don't feel good today. Oh, my breath stinks. Oh, I'm stinky. Like I haven't showered. My deodorant isn't working. Like I need to shave my legs. And I don't, you know, all of these things that are going through a woman's head that are typically more like about, not body insecurity, but just like more about ourselves, like inward. And so like I think men are always like, oh my gosh, what did I do? It's like, it actually has nothing to do with you. It's more like I mentally have to, maybe I need to take a bath. Maybe I need to have a minute. Maybe I need to go read a book. Maybe I need to like get myself in the mood. And so sometimes
read a book.
Yeah. Sometimes those spontaneous things, like it's really hard to just switch it on for a girl. I feel like for guys, you can just like see something and you're like instantly activated. Like I can't think of something that I would see like, even if I saw like the hottest man in the world in like a fireman suit coming down a pole, like I'd be like,
that's what I was doing.
I'd be like, LOL, that's
you
funny.
You didn't even
like,
see me.
I wouldn't be like, oh my gosh, I'm so turned on. Like to me, I would be turned on if I was like, oh my God, he loves me. And like, we're spending so much time together and he thinks I'm so funny. And like, I feel so pretty today. And he told me I was pretty and he likes this. And then I'd be like, oh, let's do it. Like, it's not like, oh yeah, let's do it. He looks hot. like, you know, maybe there's a little bit of that once you kind of get going. And like, maybe that comes ever so often, but I just feel like it's so much more than just like a pounce for a female. So I said that and I was like, well, why don't we just always know that we're going to do it after date night? And you were like, you know what? That just makes me sad. And so like, true. I'm just really sad that this is where our marriage got to.
No.
Schedule it on the calendar.
No, that wasn't my tone. My tone was this. I said, hey, I hear you. I understand what you're saying. Deep down, it kind of just makes me sad.
And then I said, you know what makes me sad is that now there's no resolution to our problem because I don't know what to tell you.
I think that, okay, so male brain is like, you're right. It's probably easier. Like the other night you were like, I was reading my book. I had my iPad open. I had my Beam coffee mug in my hand and the lamp on. And you go, let's cuddle. And I go, okay. I just turned off the light.
Because he drinks his Beam every night. Like he will not finish it. And he reads his iPad every single night for like an hour. And he's looking at it for 5 minutes. I go, let's cuddle. Okay. And then I just started dying laughing because I was like, I would have never done that. I would have never just been like, okay. Like I'd been like, babe, I already put my mouth guard in. Like I'm reading this really special book. I'm so tired. We have to wake up so early in the morning. We have to get the kids up. I have to pump all through the night.
Those are very like real things. But I think that for a man, it's like this can trump all of those things.
I know.
Like it's like what I would trade a 45 sleep score any day. Like how fun, you know? Like,
see, that's so funny. Like, that sounds so sad, like scary to me to have a 45 sleep score just for like 30 minutes of enjoyment.
I know. And for 30
I was going to say for 5 minutes, but I didn't want to offend you.
No, I know that this is like there's probably people who have been married longer than us listening and they're like, this is so funny. Like, this is so real. Marriage. And like if you watch like the This Is 40 movie or like any of those movies, it's like this is so
Relatable.
And like the era of our marriage when we have so many complex like dynamics and rhythms with 3 kids and, you know, work and everything. But just planning it out just makes me so sad.
So
still.
then, can I tell you what I decided to do?
I thought you were going to the mall to get lingerie. I thought that was the answer.
No. So then I decided I'll schedule it out and I just won't tell you.
Oh, did someone tell you to do that?
Yeah. I was like, this is the best life hack ever.
Oh, that's so brilliant.
I know. So,
because I'm like, whoa, she's so spontaneous.
exactly.
Can
and
you
you'll never know. But then that way I can get myself in the mood. Like I can know it's coming, but
Man,
you don't
I kind
know.
of wish you wouldn't have told me that.
I know. But here's the thing.
But you had to save people in their marriages.
Yeah. So I was just helping you. But here's the thing. I think that this is the way that I talked to someone about this, and like I talked to a couple of my friends, and the way that she was describing it was, this is just training wheels to get back into like the organic, natural rhythm that you both are happy with. So it's just like, maybe you just do this for a little bit.
Training wheels, like postpartum, essentially.
Postpartum, maybe you're going through a rough patch in your marriage.
Yeah.
Maybe things are just, like you just had a baby. So like your intimacy is a little off. Your physical relationship is a little off. So maybe you just put training wheels on it for a little bit, and the wife schedules it. Just, okay, Tuesday.
Manipulate me. I love it.
Tuesday, I'm available. He doesn't have to know. And so then the husband thinks you're being spontaneous.
That's so.
But really, like, you took a bath, like you finished work early, you treated yourself, maybe you went and got a massage, whatever like you need to do to get there. But then, it's so genius.
That's so brilliant.
I know. So life hack for all the wives out there: schedule your intimacy, but don't tell your husband. So then you're just a spontaneous little chipmunk.
So did all of the wives that you talk to who have this forbidden divine knowledge, did they say that their husbands also struggled with the lack of like the idea of planning it?
Yes. I think it was like everybody's just laughing.
I don't think I'm alone. Like I think that most guys like romanticize and want this like marriage where it's like, we're 20 again. Like we can do it on a plane. We can do it in this random place. Like it's like, that's like so fun in your early honeymoon phase of marriage. And I'm still like game to play that. Like I'm always trying to trap you in weird places and be like, let's just do it right here. You're never into it, but that's part of the psychology
because I also
issue.
don't want to be caught. Like that's so scary.
Oh, but the potential of getting caught is like 50% of the fun. At least.
No, we have done it in some weird places.
No, for sure. But like, it's like, I'm like kind of having to drag you there. Like,
yeah, that's true. No, and I think it is important to know that it is a way that you can like, it doesn't always have to be all about you, like about me or you. You know what I mean?
Totally.
Like, and so it is a way that you can, this is cliche, but like serve your spouse. Like, babe, if you know the amount of times that, never mind.
Yeah. Deep tracks. That's for the Patreon. Or the OnlyFans.
Oh my God.
Yeah, no, I get it. Like you pulled through.
Yeah,
for sure.
I've pulled through.
But so have I.
I know. Same. I know.
So have I.
I know. That's why I always thought we were amazing when it comes to this.
No, I think that when in the act, I think that we are selfless. I think that it's like.
I feel like even the quantity.
See, I think that's just like where men and women are just
I'm like,
dialed
how
different.
Many times a week are we talking?
I mean,
okay, it's okay. You're not supposed to put a number out there.
No, and I honestly think that a real side of this conversation.
You can put a number out there for your spouse, but we shouldn't tell like the audience, because every marriage is different, and you never want someone to feel like compare their sex life with their marriage to like ours, because everyone is different.
And I honestly think that that's like part of the season that I'm into is like, I do think I'm like struggling with this kind of like make believe comparison, because I don't actually know numbers or, have a lot of conversations with my guy friends about this, but because it's not talked about, I feel like I have this mental comparison of like, oh, it's probably like that for them.
Yeah, but if you feel like it's not enough for you, then that's your opinion. That's your number. So if you like, you know what I mean? So it's okay to feel how you feel.
Yeah.
But yeah, you shouldn't do it because you're comparing. It's because you actually feel that way.
Yeah. I think that the other side that I think is probably relatable for most guys is after every kid that we have, our life gets more complicated, more scheduled, less spontaneous. And I think that this is just like this one area of our life that like I don't want to lose fire in, because it makes me feel like, oh man, like we're going to like, like my greatest fear was always like, I mean, now I kind of want it, which mind blown there, like moving out to the suburbs, I was like, I don't want to like move out and then not be ambitious and like do all these things. And so I think that this is just like something that I'm holding on to, worried that if I let this die, then it's all just boring moving forward,
That's
you
so
feel that?
sad. But no, because I think there's nothing sexier than a date night out.
Yeah. Fear of losing the that's like one area of our life that can still remain spontaneous.
Right.
When the rest of our life becomes incredibly structured, and I don't want to say mundane in like a negative sense, but it's like, you're raising kids and like they thrive in routine. So everything else is kind of getting more and more routine. And so that's like one area of excitement that is like, wild.
I honestly, after we had the conversation, I did feel guilty. I did feel kind of bad.
Yeah. And that was not my intention. I knew that you did, but I didn't want you to feel guilty. I feel like emotionally we're so safe around each other now. Like that it's been my favorite part of the hard season that we went through is I feel like I know you more intimately and honestly than I did before. And I think that you are able to know me more intimately and honestly than you did before. And so I didn't want you to feel guilty. I just felt really comfortable
talking about it.
Yeah. Talking about it and having a conversation of like, I don't know, just the reality of the situation.
I know. Cause I've always been very shy about it. Like about talking about sex. I can't even say it. I can't even say it. I'm like the S word. I remember when I was in college, I was doing a review of the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. And like, I couldn't even say the word like on camera.
Yeah.
And I was like 22 years old. Like I've just always been I was always kind of known as the prude, like in middle school, high school. Like I didn't know, sorry, I'm going to say the word boner because that's when I first learned about it. That's what the sixth graders had said. I didn't know what that was for like the longest time. Like no one ever told me. I learned what a virgin was from Disney's Wish Upon a Star with Katherine Heigl, I think was in it. And I remember I was like in middle school or something and I went to my mom and I was like, what's a virgin? And then my mom was like, where'd you hear that? I don't know. Like, so these conversations have just always been very like kind of taboo, but not. Because I always learned it was just something that you talk about when you get married. No, but then I never talked about it or thought about it. So then when I got married, I was like really shy about it.
So I'm going to tell you something. And I think I've told you this before, but I'll say it here again. When it comes to like our sex life, I honestly feel like sometimes, no, this is like not bad. I've honestly felt sometimes like there's some level of depth in you that you've held back. And I've always been like, is it insecurity? Like, are you in your own head? Like, I don't know how to explain it, but do you know what I'm talking about or no?
I mean, maybe. I don't know. It's honestly something that I feel like gets better each year.
No, for sure.
For sure. And I think that's okay.
Yeah. No,
like,
for
I don't
sure.
think that you have to get married and be like a professional. Dude, I had no idea what I was doing.
No, I'm not talking.
Like, no one ever like talked to, like, I didn't know anything. The only thing I'd ever seen was like if a movie, a chick flick I was watching had some funny joke about something.
No, I'm not even talking about like, I'm not talking about performance. I'm actually talking about like vulnerability or like intimacy or like trust. I don't know. I feel like sex in a marriage is like the safest, most vulnerable place that two human beings can like be in together, you know? And I think that sometimes in marriage or outside of marriage, you can get caught up in like the performance side of it, you know? But like really, I think that like the blessing of it in marriage is it's like this full, just complete naked vulnerability, you know? And I feel like what has gotten progressively better over the years is like you feeling more comfortable to like trying to think about how I'm saying this, like it might be too hard to talk about.
Yeah, I get it.
Do you know what I'm saying though?
Yeah,
like it might
Yeah.
be too hard to talk about.
Yeah, I get it.
But yeah, I didn't want you to feel bad, and I hope that you didn't the next day.
No. I do. You also just like hear those sayings, or like your mom, like my mom would always be like, "No, if you deny your husband, he'll go find it somewhere else," you know? So like you have those like sayings that like your mom said to you, or like movies said to you, where you're like, oh my gosh, like, am I the problem? Like, am I gonna make my husband, like cause my husband to go have a wandering eye? Like, is that
Yeah.
gonna be my fault? And like, so then I was like, oh my gosh, like I am not giving a man what he needs. Therefore, he's going to go do something bad and it's going to be my fault.
Okay.
That's
so
where my mind went.
I know. So like, okay, now I'm going to try and say what I was saying. So Danny and I have been doing a lot of work on ourselves, and I'm going to talk about a concept. Okay. And then I'll connect the dots. So just hang with me for a second. In marriage therapy the other day, we talked about like how everyone has like their inner family. So like in myself, I have my inner family. In Danny's self, she has her inner family, right? And the inner family is made up of the critical parent, the call it like the inner teenager, and then the inner child. Okay. So like when I went to onsite, the whole concept was like, you know, you have to like nurture this inner child. The inner child is vulnerable and transparent and creative and spontaneous and all these things. The inner teenager is, you know, rebellious, compulsive, you know, feels that they have to defend the inner child, like angry, resentful, etc. And the critical parent is what we hear in our head that is like, if you don't do it here, he's going to go find it somewhere else, or you're not good enough here, you're not good enough there. Okay. So I'm going to try and make my point.
So those are all the voices in ourselves.
Yeah. And so like, you know, the work that I'm doing, which is different than the work that you're doing, the work that I'm doing is trying to
reparent yourself.
Yeah. Kind of like reparent the inner critical parent that I have in my head to a loving parent, so that when you come at me with a criticism, I don't retreat like an inner child and get really guarded, and my inner teenager doesn't come out and get defensive, but instead like I can just accept the criticism and be like, oh man, like I would love to do that better. Mm-hmm. Right. And so it's just a healthier way of kind of getting out of some of your childhood patterns into a more healthy adult. Makes sense so far?
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to connect the dots.
Okay.
So I know you, I think, better than anyone else, other than you probably knowing yourself. And sometimes I feel like I know you better than yourself. And there's a level of intimacy that I'm really excited about getting into that will be reflected in our sex life, where you give up that inner critical parent and that, you know, unhealthy teenager. And you are just so like healthy to not be in your own head of like, am I performing? Oh my gosh, like if I don't do this, then, you know, he'll go find it somewhere else. Like, where I'm so excited in this like next chapter of our marriage is like both of us kind of getting back to the state of like our inner children, and you trusting that I love you so much that it's just, I love you beyond that inner critical parent. I love you beyond like that inner teenager that comes out sometimes. And it's just like, I love you for you, and that you accept that, believe that, and trust in it. And I think that that will create a vulnerability in our marriage and in our sex life that has that is like deeper than anything that we've experienced even thus far. Does that make sense?
It's beautiful.
Does it connect dots?
No, it's really beautiful.
That's like how I feel, but it's really complicated to explain. So I didn't know if it made sense to you.
No, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say earlier when I was like, like kind of in your own head. It's like really what I'm talking about is that like inner critical Danny of herself.
Yeah.
That inner critical parent.
That's deep. That's deep stuff right there.
So anyway.
I have a lot to think about.
We talked about this in marriage counseling too.
I know. It's a lot. I'm going to need like
I can give you my workbook.
Yeah. Give me your work.
Yeah, it's great.
I need a worksheet.
Yeah, I got.
I really like what you said. And it is very hard because
you've never not been critical of yourself.
But girls are so hard on themselves too.
I know.
Like all girls are so hard on themselves in this area, I feel like. And I don't know why. I don't know if it's like the movies that we watched or the expectations that are put on us from just culture or music. Like, I don't know what it is, but I think every girl probably relates where we're like, it's so much in our own head about like, even like before, like, oh my gosh, like I haven't shaved my legs or I'm not this perfect version of what he would want like in this moment. Therefore, like for me to do it, I feel like I have to be in this perfect version of myself. And
see, I feel that from you. I feel that energy. I feel that insecurity. And man, I'm so excited to one day figure out how like you can give that up because babe, we've been married for 7 years. I'm not going anywhere. Like, they say
the 7th year is the hardest.
It for sure is. But like, it's just crazy to me that you still are struggling with that even after 7 years of marriage. Like what's stopping you from... I'm
just a little girl. I just got my inner little girl coming out.
Well, you don't understand the...
Okay. Sorry. I got the critical parent. Sorry. See, I get confused with the inner children or whatever, because my inner child, my little Danny is just, she's a little messed up too. You know what I mean? Like,
well,
I get the concept.
She's the one she's messed up because she's listening to her inner critical parent.
Totally.
And then teenage, honestly, if you want to know who I think is the hardest to deal with, it's teenage Danny. Oh my gosh. She is
my parents are like,
she's the worst to argue with. She is so defensive. Like,
also, do you ever think about if our parents listen to our podcast?
But no, I don't. This has nothing to do with them.
No, I know, babe. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the sex part.
Oh. Yeah, they probably do.
It's okay. How did we make 3 kids?
Honestly, yeah, like we're at that point in adulthood where it's like,
oh, I know, but this is just me. Like, I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I listened to it.
Yeah, I mean, I get it.
Anyway, well, we have a lot to think about. Maybe we'll update people later on what we find about ourselves.
We'll be on a plane.
Oh gosh. Commercial and those. Would you actually want to do it in one of those little potties?
No, it's pretty gross.
It's pretty gross in there.
Pretty gross. All of our friends on this trip are going to be like so paranoid that we're just doing it all over the house.
It's okay. They're doing the same thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, we've been talking for about an hour and 13 minutes or so. So I think we can wrap it up. But, or do you have anything else you want to talk about? I've been listening to a lot of Mark Hyman. I listened to this really interesting episode about, I guess Gary Brecka used to work for, or I don't know if he worked for like the research company or who it was, but he knows a lot about life insurance companies and life insurance policies and all of the tests that they take because, you set up our life insurance recently, right?
Yeah.
And you had to do all that blood work and they ask you more than like your general doctor asks you about your health, which is really kind of sad. But he was saying that there's this like the one predictor that they can look at that will actually predict like through all this data. It's this one key variable that will predict like to the year and date or month that you will die.
Huh.
And through all this, because they acquire so much data from millions of people. And there was one common denominator that like when this increased, mortality rates increased. Can you guess what it is?
No, not even close.
You have no idea?
No.
It was the amount of pharmaceuticals, the amount of prescription drugs that you take. The more prescription drugs that you take, that you're on, the shorter your lifespan is. That was like the one common denominator. So it really just got me thinking about like, I don't know, just all of these. Every single time I've ever had a problem when I go to the doctor, it's what prescription can we get you on? Well, it's not like, and I don't think I've really told you this, but my left leg lately every night has been aching. And like the muscles on my calves and the muscles like on my thigh. And then sometimes it goes up into my neck, but it actually like keeps me up at night. And it aches like, and I take a lot of magnesium at night. And it aches like to the point where like I can't sleep. It'll wake me up. In the morning, it still aches. And then when I start walking around, the only thing that relieves the aches is when I squeeze it, or when I stretch it, or when I like am activating it. So if I'm working, like doing a squat or running, but otherwise it's just always as achy. And I had talked to like my OB, I talked to like doctors, and you know, the first thing that they're going to do when I go to my doctor is try to prescribe me a medication.
Yeah, for sure.
They're never going to be like, oh, maybe you should take a magnesium bath, you know, like a magnesium roll on, or maybe take double your dosage of magnesium. Like they're never actually focused on the wellness. And it just scares me like how many drugs I have taken. Like I'm only on one medication right now, but like there's been times I'm on 3 or 4 medications, you know, for all these things. And it's so easy to prescribe a medication. And so anyway, I knew I had done some more research and I was like, okay, I know this. I think magnesium is still off. So funny enough, there was like a small business that this mom and daughter, and I wish I knew the name of it right now. I'll post it on my stories. But her and her daughter came out with a magnesium roll-on. Funny enough, like God thing, like last week, they sent it to me. Like, I don't even know how these people got my address. But they're like, mom and daughter here, small business. We created this product, like a magnesium roll-on. I've been rolling that on every night. It has helped like tremendously. Like so much. And so it's only happening now like probably once a week where I have like the aches. Last night I took a magnesium bath. I had no aches all last night. And I'm like, my doctor would never tell me to take a magnesium flake bath, you know? But it was just so crazy. And so I think now my goal in life, with just one of the goals I have, is just to always try to avoid those prescriptions as much as you can, because I trusted the doctors. I'm like, you prescribe it to me, like I'm going to pop the pills and make sure it'll go take the pain away, or it will, whatever it's going to do, like whether I had the flu or whether I had. And I really think that part of the reason I was so sick last year was all the prescriptions I was prescribed for strep or for flu or whatever, the antibiotics. And then I think it just messed up my gut so much that my immunity was down. I just like never fully recovered. It was just like over and over.
You haven't been sick though this year. We're kind of on a roll.
I know. But I really think it's all these supplements I'm taking.
I just realized that it's almost April and you haven't been sick.
I know. I'm a beast. I also got to wash my hands.
Yeah, beast.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nothing else?
No.
Okay.
Should we do that thing where we just say bye?
Okay, bye.
Please note that this episode may contain paid endorsements and advertisements for products and services. Individuals on the show may have a direct or indirect financial interest in products or services referred to in this episode.